What's going on, guys? Zane here, and today we're going to be making... What's going on, guys? Zane here, and today... Oh, man. This is going to be difficult. Alright, guys, what's going on? Zane here, and today... What?
We're good.
Okay! What's going on, guys? Zane here, and today we're going to be taking a look at part 2 of the Ranger build, and this is going to be all about the headache rack. Obviously, this is the new one that will be built in this video, and this is the old mock-up that you guys never even got to see me build. I threw this together completely out of scrap. The only reason I'm not getting it pressure treated is because it's going to be covered with the same coating as the bed, which you'll see in another video, part 3, when we paint the entire thing. Alright, guys, so sorry in advance for how long this video is going to be, but in this first time lapse I'll just be pretty much setting everything up. I mean, I got the Ranger out for the for the workbench, got the miter saw out, I got that barrel on the side for kind of like a support, because I don't have like adjustable sawhorses or anything cool or miter stand yet, but this works for now. So I was literally going off of that headache rack that's already on there, just making it exactly like it, because I knew I liked the style, and it took me quite a bit of time to get that one figured out. From this angle it looks a little uneven, but I mean from straight back you can tell it's right. So I went ahead and I chopped up all this fresh lumber that I got from Menards. I think it was about $60, I'm pretty sure. The whole bed to build was about $150 with paint, but you guys don't know about the paint yet, because that'll be in part 3 when I paint everything. So yeah, this time lapse was actually, I think, sped up a little bit if it looks a little laggy. Trying to keep this video shorter. Then I got back and I went right back to town. I was cutting up the what would be the supports, as you can see right there. I always wanted to do those, but I never really got around to it. And then I figured if I'm going to be remaking the whole thing, might as well do them now. So after, I think it was probably around 11 o'clock, and I was like, yeah, it's probably too late to use the saw after this. So I went ahead and, I guess I was just sitting around on my phone, and then I started messing with the light bar, I'm pretty sure. Oh, nope, I went ahead and cut the other side. Sorry, I'm narrating this as I'm watching it. But yeah, I went ahead and cut an exact copy of that to go on the other side, and then I ended up messing around with the light bar. The light bar actually belongs to my sister's boyfriend, Dolan, and it's been on that headache rack for a while. It just hasn't been wired up. It was kind of like a mock up, just to get an idea of where I would put it and how it would work or whatever, but I'm just now wiring it up. But that's whatever, so it'll be ready for when I get the new one on. I'd really like to get a sponsored one into Oxbeam, and maybe color changing 50-inch straight, but if that doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world. So yeah, and then I'm about to talk about the supports. And then Alright, guys, so in this third time lapse that you're about to see, you're going to see me cutting this board up so it'll fit just like that. Eventually, when it's all cut, it will look just like that one. This is the old one, and all that goes down into the box is 3.5 inches. And once I got that on, I realized it was pretty strong, but I figured it would be a lot stronger if it ran like this one and the other side to the bottom of the box. Eventually there'll be a 2x6 that goes right there, and it will actually be an entire box, and then I can run a script from the bottom. But until then, this is just fine. I actually have a screw there and a screw on the other side, and then a bolt there, and then a bolt on the top on the other side that will hold that on when it's all ready to be held together permanently. And yeah, so it'll be cutting up that board. I was originally going to use a miter saw, because that's how I did that one, but I figured the dado stack, I figured running it through the table saw a bunch of times would be a lot easier, maybe a little bit safer, and a lot less chiseling, so I went ahead and used that. And yeah, so here's that clip. So I basically just said everything right there, but in this time lapse you can see that I was about to use the miter saw, but I went ahead and tried it out and realized that, well, I have the table saw and it's not too hard to set up. So I went ahead and I pulled it out and I got it ready, and it ended up working out a lot better than the miter saw, because miter saw wouldn't make the cut all the way across unless you had it cutting on the opposite side. It was kind of interesting. It works, but not as well as the table saw. So I just went ahead and used that for this video. It's just a skill portable work saw, and Mom got it from State Farm for one of her anniversaries. She used her gift on me, and it works. It's pretty nice.
And a little bit easier, I guess. I don't know, less of that guy, but I mean, I'm still going to need to, but this is probably one of the best parts. Obviously, if I would have done more cuts, it would have came out even cleaner, but this will work for now.
So, judging by the lack of follow-up video, I'm assuming that it fit. Pretty sure they all went in really, really well. It was a lot stronger with it going all the way down. Originally, it was just 3.5, like I said, but now I'm pretty sure it's 9 or 9.5 inches, which just gives it an extra chunk of meat to hang on to, and those extra bolts and just a lot better leverage, I suppose. So here I am. I'm picking up the miter saw. I put the table saw back. I end up cleaning up quite a bit. Not sure. Oh yeah, I should be done with the saws. So then I was pulling the old headache rack off, pulled the light bar off, pulled the old rack, set it there, and I was gonna get ready to compare them. Never really did that, but I mean, the other one was just random scrap, so I mean, it wasn't really that nice or worth it anyway. So right there, I was working on the new joinery. I'll explain that in a second in the video. And yeah, so I'm just gonna see me messing around for a sec.
Alright guys, so what I just went ahead and figured out is that whenever I go to make this joint, these, I guess all three of these, on the new boards, instead of using pocket holes like I did the first time, which I absolutely dislike, and obviously it didn't seal very well, didn't pull it together. That twisted filling them looks ugly. So this time around, I guess filling doesn't really matter, but this time around I'm going to go ahead and use this big ol' 11/16 drill bit. It's the biggest I've got. It's the most random I've got too, but and hog it out and then shove a dowel through, and then as you can see, if I pull that out, stick it up here, it gets into there quite a bit. I mean, I think it'll be plenty strong. I'll do 2 of them here, 2 of them probably here like this. This was my other one. This was just practicing because this other one's just probably gonna get burned or something. So if I slide that in there all the way in, set it up here, it's actually in there quite a bit, and it'll have a ton of glue, and obviously the glue is where the strength actually comes from, and I think all of that holding it together, and then obviously 2 into here, it'll be really, really sturdy. And then all my seams, all my joints will be visible from the outside, and then I'll end up there'll be a ton of glue in there, so that should fill in most of it, and then I'll take some sawdust, not from this, rub it in there, and then probably sand it down, and it'll hopefully look pretty good. I don't know, I guess we'll find out.
Well, yeah, so basically what I just said. I'm just going to go ahead and point out that I do not have a script, and I'm literally just watching the video and trying to narrate it as best as possible. So there's Seth. He shows up and walks around and talks every once in a while. I was just going to town trying to get those drilled. He was telling me about his date and whatnot. So yeah, so I'm sorry that this video is so stinking long. I don't know how, but I have a ton of footage, and I just tried to shove it all in. I mean, there were a couple takes of different things that I didn't even include that would have made it even longer, and I time-lapsed, which obviously makes the video shorter than it would have if I just recorded it. But I even sped up my time lapses, so I don't know how everything is just taking so long. Sorry if any of the time lapses seem faster than the others, because I may have forgotten to speed one or two of them up or slow one or two of them down. But yeah, so literally unscripted and just kind of rolling with it. Right here, I was working on that joint, and then Madison ended up calling, and then I went through Snapchat stories. I think she's on the phone. And then I got those holes drilled, got it glued. Cutting that dowel was super awkward. So yeah, I just left them a little long, so I had plenty there to hit in, and then later on I'll go back and cut them off. And I don't have any long bar clamps or anything, pipe clamps, anything long enough. I actually only have like a 2-foot bar clamp, but I figured ratchet straps would work just fine. That was actually a $2 ratchet strap that came in a pack of 2. 10 foot long from Menards, and it was actually a pretty good deal because my other ones are 10 foot or 8 foot, and those actually worked. But there, I just threw it up on the truck, threw that up on top of it. I mean, obviously, I think this video's in the wrong spot, but that'll be all right. Yeah, no, that's not even clamped in the next video, so just ignore this time lapse. I think it comes back. Oh gosh.
Alright guys, so as you just saw in that last time lapse that I shot over there on the floor, I just glued up that joint, and it is currently drying. That one's already dry. That one to those two boards are together. Those two are together. This is literally all just sitting, and I'm hoping gravity plays nice and doesn't drop that light bar because it's not actually mine. But eventually, when this is dry, obviously not tonight, I will do the exact same thing, but run some dowels from this board into this board at somewhere in there. I haven't decided exactly where yet, but it would be nice, but that's not going to work. So probably somewhere like that. This is already dry, so I'm not too worried if I hit that joint. I mean, the strength is all right here in the glue, and the dowel is still there, so I think that should be okay. We'll see how that goes in another time lapse, I'm sure. Light bar, yep, is just sitting there. It looks like this whole thing is a little bit narrower because this overhangs just a little bit. But this isn't my light bar in reality, so I'm not terribly worried about it. Pulled the lens off the other day and cleaned it out a little bit. But I'm hoping that someone will step up and think it'd be cool to put one of their light bars in one of these videos. Hint, hint, aux beam, hint, hint. But that's whatever. So while that dries, that's good, that's good, that's good. I'm gonna do those, then after that, once I have those all together, I will need to actually fasten this, because once again it's just sitting there. I'm thinking about just going ahead. I originally got these bolts to hold my bed to my truck frame, but it hasn't fallen off yet, so it actually has a few in there, but I'm thinking these would work just dandy if I sunk it in there just a little bit. I mean, that's plenty thick to hold this thing on. And then once that's nice and sturdy, I will make this thing almost removable. I mean, I'm gonna probably use, I'll go buy some more, I'll use these and run them in at an angle into here and into there, and I will probably leave like a cheap throwaway ratchet just in case somebody decides to be a mean person and steal it. Leave one in one of these boxes. Both those lids are just flipped all the way open right now. Leave a ratchet in there just in case I need to move something that's wider than the inside of these two bars, these two 4x4s that are going to be running from that joint straight back as well on the other side. I think it's going to look pretty sweet. So yeah. So right now it's getting kind of late. It's, what time is it? Stupid watch. Nope, it's dead, just like always. So yeah, right now it's 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. Friday night, sorry. No, tonight's Saturday. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. I'm just rambling. But Six Flags in the morning, so I'm going to let that dry. Probably take it down so the light bar doesn't fall and hit the ground. And go to bed, wake up, go to Six Flags, come home, wake up, and get back to it. I don't know. Stay tuned. See ya. Sorry, and again, for all the rambling. Like I said, I'm doing this completely without a script, so all of this I'm just making up on the spot, and sometimes I get a little off topic and forget what I'm talking about, forget what I need to be talking about. But in this little clip right here, I'm fastening the headache rack to the bed. On this side, I just went ahead and used the bolts. On the other side, I'm going to use the screws first, which would have made so much more sense. I was having quite a hard time trying to get the hole pretty much countersunk enough for like pre-drilled countersunk for the socket to fit around the head of the bolt. But once I finally got that to work, it went pretty smoothly. Over here you can see I keep a couple things in the cupboard, including a broken bowling pin. Actually, I don't know if that one was broken or not, but yeah, there was a bowling pin. And here I'm throwing in those screws. Then I think after I put the screws in, I run the bolts in, just like the other side. I figured putting the screws in first would be a little bit easier, a little bit smarter, because then I could get it positioned to where I wanted it better, and then the bolts make it more permanent. But the other side worked well, and then this side worked even better. I ended up running around to the other side. I don't think I have it in the video, and putting the screws in over there too. So that worked out pretty well. And then right here, I'm actually putting it. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. Maybe this is why the time lapse is so long, because everything is just completely out of order. But in this clip, I guess I'm attaching the top again, even though I just attached the bottom to the bed. Now it's unattached again. Now that's getting it. I'm sorry for all the out of order clips. I should have paid closer attention to this. Watch, I'll probably do it again. Now just ran to Ace right there. Got more dowels. Fastening that. I don't know what I did to this video. I'm using DaVinci Resolve to try to edit this whole thing, and it's worked out pretty well, but at the same time it's been a huge pain in the butt. It's crashed a few times randomly. I started saving it a lot more often, but that seems to help a little bit. It's crashed less since I've done that, so I guess I don't know if that's productive or not, but okay. So yeah, I mean, I'm attaching that again. Then I end up letting this glue dry and set up, and then after this I pull the truck outside, even though you already saw this clip, but I pull the truck outside and I do it the other side, so that's not actually on camera. So I'm not even sure what to talk about in the next clip, but I guess we're gonna find out here in about 4 seconds. Cleaning. Alright guys, so as of right now we're looking at this thing is all glued up and should hopefully be dry soon. I mean, all the way. It's pretty solid so far. And I'm going to go ahead and start figuring out where to put the holes for these. And I'm going to make it detachable like I said earlier, and hopefully it'll hold this thing all the way up, like perpendicular like it should be, which obviously it will, as long as I put the holes in the right spot. And yeah, and then we'll get a final look at it all put together, and then I'll pull it all the way apart again and then it'll get painted. So, oh shoot, yeah, no, get a look at it all put together, and then we'll pull it all apart and then sand those, fill the holes the rest of the way, because as you can see, the glue didn't fill it as well as I thought it would. Take care of all that. So yeah, right now I'm just gonna go ahead and work on getting these things up, and it should be pretty sweet afterward. I've been waiting for these things for a long time. Alright, let's see how it goes. Alright, so my original plan with these was to pre-drill a hole for the bolt, and then pre-drill, kind of countersink the bolt just long enough so that the head of the bolt would fit in the hole, and then a socket could fit over it, which I figured would work if I had a bigger drill bit. But
I do not. I only have that 11/16 because I borrowed it from the school and forgot to give it back. But that's beside the fact. But that ended up being a huge pain in the butt. I ended up smashing my finger too, I think. But that's whatever. Yeah. So then you'll see in like in the next clip, I ended up changing my mind. Hopefully this clip hasn't already been in the video somewhere else. But yeah, the end is near. It's getting close. Only like 2 more minutes. 4 more minutes. I don't know.
Alright guys, so it's been about a day since that last clip, and I went ahead and put the light bar on just to mess around with it while I was taking my buddy home in Pontiac. And I decided I'm just going to go ahead and run 2 of these top and bottom instead of 1 of these top and bottom. When I was trying to put it on with the big silver bolts, I was trying to put 1 hole and then make the hole bigger for the head of the bolt and the socket so I could just keep a cheap ratchet in the box, like I said, which I thought would make that easier, but I don't have the big enough socket. That was a pain in the butt. Obviously there's a little bit of skipping on there, and I ended up crushing my finger because it spun out, and that was just becoming a huge pain in the butt. So I'm going to run 2 of these top and bottom just right at an angle. Hopefully they'll be plenty sturdy. I'm hoping they will be, and then I should be alright with that. Then with that hole, I'll just go ahead and mix up some sawdust, which I have a huge pile of right there, and some glue or some wood filler, whatever. Sand it smooth, get rid of all those little spots, and then cover everything with black, and we should be okay. And like I was saying earlier in the video, this is not my light bar. There are a lot of bugs on here now, holy smokes. And I'm hoping to get a sponsored one. Hint hint, Auxbeam once again, but we'll see what happens. And yeah, so as of right now, this should take a lot less time than that one was. I'm just gonna run, like I said, 8 screws in real quick and see how it looks. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, so I'm learning a lot about the video process from making this, and part of that is that I really should probably make a script. And I should probably number or name my files so that they go in the right order all the time. I almost feel like I've seen this already, but I mean, I've watched it a ton of times trying to make this video. Hopefully this was entertaining to you guys. I mean, if you enjoyed, definitely stick around. I'll make a part 3. Hopefully it'll be even better. I don't know if this is any better or worse than part 1, but if you guys have any thoughts or comments, leave them down below and I'll make sure to read them, and I'll probably get back to you pretty quickly. I'd really like to start doing a lot more of these videos. I could do a whole bunch of different things. I mean, I have a Mustang I could put heads and cams in. I have a dirt bike I could work on. Might sell, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of other stuff I want to do to this truck. Just let me know in the comments what you want to see, and I'll try to make some more interesting videos, and hopefully they're not as choppy as this one and whole bunch of me rambling. But I mean, if you made it this far, thank you so much, and if you like it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't, give it a thumbs down. I mean, it makes sense. So yeah, thank you. Alright guys, so I just got these fitted on here, and I'm pretty sure I like them. Hey, so yeah, these are on. And like I said, it went on a heck of a lot easier than with those bolts. That was a huge pain in the butt. I have to deliver pizza tonight in this, so that ought to be fun. Maybe get some more weird looks. Alright guys, well thanks for watching. Obviously it's not done in this shot, but I thought I might as well get this out of the way. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.
Today?
6:30? Why?
I might need to run up and get some more screws.
I think they're open. I
I mean, I was up there today. I don't know what time they closed though. It says 5 p.m. today on Google.
5,
Yep. Only 150 right now.
150.
Yep. Alright guys, what's going on? Zane here, and today we're going to be making part 3 of the Ranger build. Sorry if you hear my neighbor in the background. He's working on a shed. We're going to be focusing on this headache rack.